Hey y'all, this is just a quick little check-in. Just gonna talk about a couple things. So I got an email from, I think his name was Charles, and he just contacted the email that's in my little description box down there. And he was talking about his experience with cold showers. So it was cool that someone decided to connect with me. I'm always cool with that. And then I have 2 new subscribers this month. I can't remember your names. I'll shout you out. I'm sorry, I wrote it down, but I'll shout you out in the description box. So thank you to new people who click subscribe. I think it brings me up to like 82 people or something. And I know like 20 of those people are my brothers and sisters and their kids. And they probably don't even watch anymore. But whatever, thanks guys. So yeah, cold showers. I'm still doing it. This morning, well, today was kind of weird. I haven't been feeling well this great for a variety of reasons. I was doing a lot of extra teaching this week, and for some reason that just wears me out. And it's probably because the way my scheduling works, I have to teach like 5 hours at a time, and most of my kids are under 12 years old, so it's just very energy intensive, at least the way I teach. I try not to sit down when I teach. Maybe I should more, but I just find it exhausting. So I haven't been able to sleep enough, and we all know that when Sarah doesn't sleep enough, she compensates by eating too much. And even if I've been eating good things, it's like made my skin start to break out, just my body trying to handle the extra food while it's sleep deprived. But I'm sleep deprived, and so I'm compensating with food. I don't know, it's that nasty cycle that I fall into all the time. So I'm actually kind of excited for a little bit of a lighter weekend to come up so I can kind of deal with that. But the point was, from that, I slept in a little bit today to get over this extra teaching I've been doing. And so today when I did my cold shower, I didn't set my timer. I just got into the cold water and I counted backwards from 100 while I got the water all over and made sure I was nice and cold. Then I ran the hot water for like 30 seconds, and then I got out because I'd slept in and I needed to kind of hurry to get going with the rest of my day. So, I try to make sure I jump in the icy cold water every day, and 99% of the time I try to make sure it's the full 5 minutes. But today was one of those days where it was probably more like a minute and a half, but I still feel like it did a good thing for me. So, Charlie, thanks for reaching out. That was cool. I hope your experiences are still good. It does get easier. It's still a shock every time, but it gets to be something that I look forward to and that I still take a little bit of pride in. Okay, the other thing I wanted to update, or just acknowledge, I guess, is I got sunburned. So I have like a little scaly patch here on my chest and my shoulder over here too. I'm like a little lizard. I'm losing my skin, but that means it's been, oh, hello kitty. The kitty opened the door. That means it's been nice and sunny here where I live. It was kind of deceptively cool the day I got sunburned. I didn't realize that I was frying out there. So that's been really nice. Okay, so the thing I wanted to talk about, this is something that Charles, there's someone else I email with, and his name is Charlie. So Charles, my apologies. Charles, is hair. We were talking about hair and how we clean it. So I've been doing baking soda and apple cider vinegar for about 3 years now, but I only wash my hair, it's seriously like every 10 days. It's once in a while it'll be more if I'm sweating in it a lot, like during the summer or when I'm dancing a lot and like really getting sweaty. But on average, I'd say I don't wash it more than definitely never more than once a week. And I should maybe wash it more often than that. But it's really happy the way it is now. But something that Charles he shared with me was that the baking soda can actually be quite detrimental. And I'm not going to try and go into the chemistry of it, but he shared a really good article with me that I will link to in the description about how the baking soda can actually throw off the pH, I think, of like the oils and stuff in your hair, and just like its natural protective covering. So I read that article and I was convinced to try washing my hair with nothing but water. And I've tried it before in combination with my cold showers and washing it with just the icy cold water. And I think the problem I ran into is that my natural hair oils just kind of stiffened up in the water. You know how oil will get a little more solid the more cold it is. And so when my hair was able to dry out, it still had a lot of the extra oil in it. So I'm going to try now washing it still probably maybe a little more often, maybe definitely once a week and maybe twice a week sometimes. But after my cold shower, doing like a lukewarm or warm to kind of get the oils moving. And what I read in the article that Charles shared with me was that you should wash it and scrub it like you normally do, as if you were working soap or your baking soda or your vinegar, actually working it into your scalp and really getting deeply in there, and then making sure all this gets down there. So I'm going to try that. I've already done it one time last week sometime, and I kind of wanted to do, I'm not sure, this is going to be kind of hard because I have to hold the camera, but I'm going to kind of show you what my hair looks like right now. It's been probably 8 days, not even that, maybe more like 6 days since I've washed it. Part of the reason is I can't ever remember how much or how long it's been. Okay, I'm actually gonna flip this over to the mirror so that we can kind of see what I'm talking about. Okay. Oh, and I'm so nice and pink from my sunburn. And welcome to my bathroom. One of these days I'm gonna do a little video on how I kind of do the bathroom thing minimally, because I don't use body soap. I now might not be using baking soda and vinegar anymore, just water on my hair. And then I have a wooden toothbrush, and I use coconut oil and salt on my teeth. So don't even use real toothpaste. Really super minimalist in the bathroom as far as hygiene stuff. Okay, hello, how are you? Okay, so this is what lovely locks look like right now. There's like a layer of sweat going on in here. And then it's a little bit wavy from being in my braid. And maybe later I'll do like a picture of, what the texture actually looks like. Let's see if I can get it without blocking it. Yeah, my ends need to be trimmed. So something that article talked about was that the baking soda actually contributes to the hair breaking more easily. And I was, talking with Charles, and I said, oh, well, it seems to be fine on my hair. I don't think I'm experiencing that much damage. And he pointed out that it's probably happening much slower for me since I don't wash my hair all that frequently. The damage the person in the article talked about came from their washing their hair 2 or 3 times a week with the baking soda and the vinegar. Where I'm doing it less frequently, I'm probably still getting the same amount of damage, just at a slower rate. So I'm just gonna play with that, and I'll update you guys later on what that looks like. Right now I do need a trim. Another note though on how I do abuse my hair, I put it in a braid, the one you just saw me take out, and then I have these giant hairpins. I put about 6 to 10 of them in my hair for a bun when I take ballet class. And the problem with that is, as careful as I try to be tucking them in, they have to go in and then twist in to hold my hair down. Or sometimes instead of a braid, I'll just do a twist. But every time they go in, I can hear a couple of hairs breaking. And I try to be so careful, but it's just kind of an inevitability with doing a ballet bun. I have to put it in pretty much every day, and so those pins go in. So I have a lot of breaks, all up and down my hair. And that's just something that has been a reality since I've been a dancer. So I'm not going to worry too much about that, but as far as, washing it and what kind of chemicals I do or don't put in my hair, we're going to stay as healthy as possible that way. And then, got to trim my ends, because the end of my little braid, it dangles around and gets caught on stuff. And yeah, and I've started doing a braid instead of a ponytail, because I had someone tell me that, ponytail, especially with as long as my hair is, it actually puts a lot of stress on the hair up here on the back, so you can get breaks up here as well, at where the base of your ponytail would be. So that's why I've just started doing a low braid in the last several years. It's the best way to keep my hair out away from this area if I need to be cleaning house or on my bike or something. But it's back and it's gentle and it's held in, and then I use I try to use hair elastics that don't have any metal on them. This hair elastic is the drawstring from a ballet shoe. When I help my little students cut their drawstrings, I will sometimes just throw the ends in my bag. And one day, a while ago, I've been using this same one for a little while. You can see it's kind of lost its pink color. It's kind of faded. I couldn't find a hair elastic, so I just tied the ends together. So I don't ever need to buy hair elastics again, because I'm always snipping these little drawstrings off of my students' shoes. So I'll just keep using these. It works really well. It doesn't tear. It has just the right amount of stretch to it, but it doesn't like pinch my hair and pull at the ends. So, you know, this has been really great. Okay, update on Sarah's hair, in case you were wondering. But just as far as like self-improvement and trying to stay healthy as I get older, you know, taking care of my skin, despite this breakout from not having enough sleep and maybe not eating the best this week, my skin is still much happier when I don't put soap and cleansers and detoxers on it. Like my face gets a nice cold splash of water and then a little bit of warm water, and then if it feels dry after a shower, a little bit of coconut oil or shea butter. Just very, very mild. I've pretty much decided that if I don't feel comfortable eating it, I don't feel comfortable putting it on my skin. The only caveat to that being sometimes when I shave my legs, I like to use a little bit of soap, but even then, I've used coconut oil before instead, and that seems to work just fine. So yeah, okay, this is just kind of a random little update with the next random little thing. I'm trying to come up with some more things. An update on fasting that has not been going very well, in my opinion. I still do daily fasting. So for like the last 2 or 3 weeks, I've been doing between 18 and 23 hour fasts. So like today I did from yesterday I did 25-hour fast, and then I had a meal. So my body weight still isn't where I would like it to be for dancing for the summer, but I'm still figuring out how to burn fat while having the energy to do all the stuff I'm trying to do, like especially this teaching. There's no way I could have got through this last 3 days of teaching 4 and 5 hours in a row the way that I teach, with like the high energy I like to have, and not have been having the faster energy that comes from food. Like I would have had a lot lower energy level if I had just been, you know, if I had been fasting. So okay, I'm gonna ramble about another little thing right now. The last class that I taught last night, it was a group of girls, I want to say they're like 15, 16, 17, and I was exhausted before the class started. They came into the room, and I could see they were exhausted. They had had a competition the Saturday before, and then a lot of them are really involved in church stuff, so they kind of rest on Sunday, but then they had jumped right back into their regular routine Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then I was seeing them Thursday night, and they looked so tired, and I was so tired. So for ballet class, we sat on the floor and we talked about life. I was wearing my snake diet t-shirt, and they asked, what's the snake diet? And some of them are actually subscribed to my YouTube channel. So hey guys, if you're watching this, I know this isn't one of my fun or funny videos, but if you decided to watch this one, that's cool. And they were asking me about the long saltwater fasts I've done and some of the shorter fasting and like how fasting works. And we talked about a bunch of other stuff, and it was actually really cool. It was kind of therapeutic all around for everybody. So they may not have got any ballet practice, but hopefully we all got a little bit of mental therapy out of that class. And I'm not their regular teacher anyway, and their regular teacher will be back next Thursday, so they'll get a good ballet class then. They're all good girls. They work so hard. Sometimes you just need to sharpen the saw, you know. Where was I going with that? Yeah, just telling these kids about fasting, because you don't hear about that in public school. You don't hear about that in mainstream health and nutrition. Not that these girls need to be fasting, any of them. They're all dancers. They're young, fit, muscular, beautiful athletes. They don't need to be doing any kind of fasting unless they feel like they don't want to eat breakfast. They should they should be continuing to eat intuitively the way younger people tend to do, instead of being told, oh, it's 7:30, you should eat. Oh, it's 12:30, you should eat. Like, we need to let them eat when they feel like it, and if they don't feel like it, they don't need to be forced to eat. And if they do feel like it, they need to eat until they're all the way satisfied. And I think that's going to help with body image issues. I mean, it's definitely going to help with body composition. And if your body composition is great, you're going to be confident in your body and you're not going to have eating issues. So I hope I did some good for these kids. I hope I didn't weird them out too much with my weird, I should make another video about all the weird things, at least what I think are the weird things that I do. So anyway, hair, fasting, yeah, I gotta get back on it. I maybe need a week to like chill out and kind of get my rhythm back, I guess. I just feel like I've really been out of it the last little while. So yeah, okay, I'm just rambling now. I don't even think I'm gonna edit this. I'm just gonna throw it up there as a quick and dirty update. But do please go read that article that Charles sent to me about the baking soda and vinegar for the hair thing. And if you are already a no shampoo kind of person and you do baking soda and vinegar or honey and avocado, whatever it is you do, take a look at that. And I would love to hear what you think. I'd love to hear your experience with it. If you have some other suggestion that I could try. I have tried like coconut oil, but I've had a really hard time getting it out. And so I just feel oily for a long time. But you know, whatever it is you've tried, I love to try all kinds of things, so I am open for that. And thanks again to my new subscribers and everyone who's emailed me or left a comment. I mean, I'm not looking to monetize this channel ever. This is more just kind of an online journal of the stuff that I do, and I love to connect with other people who like to do weird stuff. So yeah, I hope everybody has a good night. Happy feasting, happy fasting, happy dancing, happy experimenting with your life, and go out there and get the things that you want. What do you think? What do you think about it, Myra? Yeah? Oh, you think it's time to go out. Okay. I had one more little plug I wanted to make. My sister has, it's called AS. I can't remember what that stands for. I think the S is spondylitis. I will look it up and also put that in the description. She was having some really, really bad foot pain a couple of days ago. Just like incredible swelling and lots of pain. And my sister does not complain about things. She's not, I mean, I've seen her cry like twice in my life, and one of those times was at her wedding. And she didn't even really cry. It was just like happy tearing. Like, this is a tough, strong woman with 2 little kids. And she started tearing up in a little video message about the pain she was in. And she had been eating like nothing but celery for a day. She'd been trying to stay in ketosis with her food, so eating a ketogenic diet. And she finally just said, I'm just gonna fast. So she did a 44-hour fast, got herself pretty deeply into ketosis, and she said that the swelling started to go down. I don't think her pain went away 100%, but it definitely went way, way down. She was able to clean her house, follow her kids around, play with their kids. They just added an addition onto their house, and she was finally able to get painting and furniture moved for that. So, you know, I'm still of the opinion that fasting can at least be a great first step into figuring out a lot of physical issues. So just wanted to add that in there really fast. Okay, bye.